Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, where we peel back the layers of corporate filings to see if these companies are actually growing or just growing their jargon. Today we're diving into Sanara MedTech Inc. Its latest report, and let me tell you, sometimes the most exciting news is buried in the least flashy documents. Stick around, because we're going to see what these numbers really mean for Sanara. Now, what is Sanara MedTech Incorporated in simple terms? They are a company that focuses on medical technology. Think about devices or solutions that help with healthcare. Their business is pretty specialized, and understanding their financial health is key to seeing if they're on the right track. This particular filing is a Form 8K. In the corporate world, an 8K is like a current report. It is used to announce major events that shareholders should know about right away. So when a company releases an 8K, it is usually because something significant has happened. And the date we're looking at is the 23rd of January 2026. This tells us the report covers events that happened just before or on that day. Here we see the familiar name of the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC. They are the government body that makes sure companies are honest and transparent with their investors. Sanara MedTech Incorporated has common stock, which is basically ownership shares in the company. Their stock trades under the ticker symbol SMTI on the Nasdaq Capital Market. This is important because it means we can track their stock performance and see how the market reacted to this news. The main reason for this report, as highlighted by item 2.02, is to share news about their financial condition and how they're performing. Specifically, on the 23rd of January 2026, Sanara MedTech Incorporated released a press release about certain preliminary financial results for the fourth quarter and the entire year of 2025. This press release is attached as an exhibit, and it's the heart of what this filing is about. It is like them saying, hey, here is the quick update on how we did financially. Now, they are being careful here. They mention that the information furnished in this report won't be considered filed in the strictest sense for certain legal purposes. This is a common way for companies to share information without taking on the full legal responsibility of a formally filed document until later. It's like saying, this is what we know now, but we'll double check later. They also included what is called an interactive data file. This is a standardized way for companies to tag their financial information in a machine, readable format, making it easier for analysts and investors to crunch the numbers. Think of it as a digital, organized spreadsheet of their financial data. And the report is signed off by Elizabeth B. Taylor, who holds the title of Chief Financial Officer. This is the person who is ultimately responsible for the company's financial reporting. It adds a layer of accountability. So, what are the certain preliminary financial results they announced? The filing itself doesn't give us the exact numbers directly in this section, it just tells us that a press release with those details was issued. For a deeper dive into the actual financial figures, we'd need to look at Exhibit 99.1, that press release. Since we don't have that actual press release content here, we have to infer what the key takeaways might be based on what companies typically report in this context. Usually, when a company announces preliminary results, they're sharing highlights like revenue, maybe profits or losses, and key performance indicators. They might be trying to get good news out quickly, or perhaps they want to give investors a heads up before a more detailed report comes out. Let's imagine what might have been in that press release for Sanara MedTech Incorporated. Given their focus on medical technology, they might have reported on sales of their medical devices, any new product launches, or partnerships. They would also likely mention their earnings per S-hair, which is a crucial metric for investors. Now, a key aspect of analyzing any financial report is looking at trends. Are they growing, shrinking, or staying flat? If they announce that their revenue, which is the total money they brought in from selling their products or services, grew by, say, 10% compared to the previous year, that is generally a positive sign. It means more people are buying what they offer. But if revenue dropped, we'd want to know why. Did a competitor launch a better product? Did a major customer stop buying? They might also discuss their profitability. Are they making more money after covering all their costs, or are their expenses eating up their revenue? For instance, if their net income, which is the profit after all expenses are paid, doubled, that is fantastic. But if it plummeted, it could signal serious problems in their operations or market strategy. Another important area is usually their debt. Companies often borrow money to fund growth. We'd want to see if their debt levels are manageable compared to their assets and earnings. If their debt is high and their earnings are low, that is a red flag. In the context of Sanara MedTech Incorporated, we'd also be interested in any updates on their research and development efforts. Innovation is critical in the tech and medical fields. Are they investing in new technologies that could drive future growth, or are they cutting back on R&D, which might hurt them down the line? We also need to consider the overall market conditions. Is the medical technology sector booming, or is it facing challenges? If Sanara MedTech Incorporated is performing well while the rest of the industry is struggling, that's a strong indication of their resilience and competitive advantage. Conversely, if they're doing poorly while the industry is thriving, it suggests internal issues. Looking at the structure of this 8K filing, it is very straightforward. It announces the release of financial results and then points to the exhibit containing those results. The real meat of the financial story would be in that press release. Without those specific numbers, it is hard to give a definitive assessment. However, the mere fact that they are issuing preliminary results suggests they have something to report and likely want to manage investor expectations. If we had access to the press release, we might see something like this. Sanara MedTech Incorporated announced today that unaudited preliminary revenue for the fourth quarter of 2025 is expected to be between $X million and $Y million, representing a Z% increase or decrease compared to the fourth quarter of 2024. Or perhaps they'd comment on their cash flow, which is the movement of money into and out of the company, a vital indicator of their short-term financial health. When we see financial results like these, we want to use a Warren Buffett style approach. That means looking for companies with strong fundamentals, a clear competitive advantage, and competent management. Even though this report is brief, it is a piece of the puzzle. We'd want to see consistent growth in revenue and profits, a healthy balance sheet with manageable debt, and a clear vision for the future. For Sanara MedTech Incorporated, their direction seems to be centered on innovation in medical technology. The strength of their direction would depend on how well their products are adopted in the market and their ability to fend off competitors. A weakness could be if their technology is too specialized and the market is too small, or if regulatory hurdles are too high. Notable risks could include rapid technological changes that make their products obsolete, increased competition from larger players, or negative clinical trial results if they are developing new medical treatments or devices. On the opportunity side, there could be expansion into new geographic markets, strategic acquisitions, or breakthroughs in their research that open up new revenue streams. Ultimately, this 8K filing for Sanara MedTech Incorporated is a signal. It tells us that the company is actively communicating its financial status. The crucial next step would be to dissect that furnished press release to understand the actual financial figures and draw concrete conclusions about their performance and future prospects. Without those numbers, it is like looking at the cover of a book and trying to guess the entire story. So, to summarize, Sanara MedTech Incorporated used this 8K filing to announce preliminary financial results for the end of 2025. The actual details are in an attached press release which we would need to analyze for a complete picture. Now, let's talk about our take on this based on just this filing. It's hard to make a definitive judgment. However, the fact that they are providing preliminary results indicates a commitment to transparency. If those preliminary results are strong, it signals good things for the company's financial health and market position. If they are weak, it prompts further investigation into the underlying causes. The key here is to always look beyond the initial announcement and dig into the detailed financial statements. What are your thoughts on companies releasing preliminary financial results? Do you find it helpful or a way to manage expectations before the full report? Let us know in the comments below if you found this breakdown insightful. Please hit that like button and subscribe for more corporate dissections. And don't forget to join our Discord community, linked in the description, for more in-depth discussions and insights. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.